They're planning to pay undocumented immigrants the $1,000 to self-deport.
$1,000 to leave voluntarily? What's the thinking behind that?
Well, the official line from DHS is basically cost savings
Yeah.
for taxpayers,
Mhm.
They're arguing it's much more economical than formal deportation.
Okay, chipper. So it's a financial incentive. How does it actually work? What do people get?
So it's this $1,000 stipend. But, and this is key, they only get it after they've confirmed they're back in their home country.
After confirmation, how do they confirm that?
Through an app. It's called the CBP Home app. They use it to verify they've actually returned.
CBP Home app. Wait, wasn't that app called something else? CBP One, maybe? Used for asylum stuff?
Exactly. It's been repurposed. Under the Biden administration, it was CBP One, used for scheduling asylum appointments. Now it's the CBP Home app, and its job is for people to submit an intent to depart form.
And then prove they left using the same app. Okay, so the money comes after they're home. What about actually getting home? Does the program help with that?
Yes, that's part of the package. It covers the cost of a commercial flight for their return travel. So it's the flight plus the $1,000 later.
Right, the travel assistance plus the stipend. That's the incentive package.
Precisely. To encourage voluntary departure instead of going through, the whole ICE process.
You mentioned cost savings earlier. Does DHS have figures on that? How much cheaper is it supposed to be?
They do. Their estimates are, well, pretty striking. They say the average cost to arrest, detain, and formally deport someone is over $17,000.
$17,000. Wow.
Yeah. But this self-deportation program, with the flight and the stipend, they project it costs around $4,500 per person.
So, like, less than a third of the cost? A 70% reduction, roughly?
That's the claim, yeah, a 70% reduction.
Okay, so if someone uses this app, declares they intend to leave, what happens to them while they're still here making arrangements? Are they still at risk of detention?
Good question. The policy says that those who use the app will be deprioritized for detention and removal, provided, of course, that they're genuinely taking steps to leave.
So it buys them some breathing room, assuming they follow through.
That seems to be the idea. Show you're leaving, and you move down the priority list for enforcement actions.
Now, DHS also mentioned something interesting about potential future legal reentry.
Yes, they did. They're putting it out there that choosing to self-deport through this program offers a possible pathway for legal return later on.
How so?
Well, the implication is that a voluntary departure looks better on your record than a formal deportation order, should you apply for a visa in the future. It's not a guarantee, but they're framing it as a potential advantage.
We've heard administration officials talking about this too, haven't we?
We have. Secretary Kristi Noem called it the best, safest, and most cost-effective way to leave for those without status. She specifically mentioned using the app to leave now and self-deport with that possibility of legal return.
And President Trump.
He's echoed similar points, offering stipends, plane tickets for voluntary departure, and hinting at those potential future legal pathways.
Okay, so this program isn't happening in a vacuum, right? What's the bigger picture?
Definitely not in a vacuum. It's part of a much broader shift.